Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Sammy Leggy here representing Team JVS. I am back here again for another movie review. You guys are going to see a lot of reviews. I apologize. They're unedited, they're unscripted, and it's just completely raw. So the next one on this one is a Kenneth Branagh directed and written film in Belfast. Belfast is most likely going to be nominated for a Best Picture because structurally, aesthetically, acting, score, cinematography, everything about it, it just speaks this is one of the best films this year. I'm just going to be very plain and honest up front with you. Now, the backdrop of this, it takes place in the 1960s in Belfast, but it centers around a young boy who his family is in a situation where people, I don't want to spoil too much, people around the neighborhood are being persecuted because of their beliefs and their status. And the family isn't necessarily affected right away, but they are gradually understanding that if they don't do something soon, they're going to be affected for the rest of their life. And they're going to have to make a conscious choice on where to take their family. Now, the film is framed, even if you look at from the beginning of it, it starts out, in color, present day, then it goes to black and white, and it ends on a certain kind of way. And I think it's in dedication to those that stayed and to those that left or carry on the legacy of the wait. And I think that is, on principle, a beautiful thing. This is starring Jude Hill, played the role of Buddy, the little kid. This is also starring Jamie Dornan. Who else? Judi Dench, Ciaran Hinds, and Caitriona Balfe. And I think that Caitriona and Jamie's chemistry is amazing. It's weird because most of the film, they're at each other's throats for the most part because of the decision of what to do with the family. But the thing is so key about their acting is that even when they're fighting and dealing with stuff, and even when they're making conscious choices that are right or wrong, you still feel levels of love and devotion and need to protect. Like, there's a moment where Caitriona's character, Ma, like, she's confronting her son for something he did and is immediately cornered with a life or death situation. And you see the hurt and the pain and the fear all in her eyes, but she still has to make a conscious choice to make sure she instills something in her son. And then the other side of that, Jamie Dornan's character, he's moving in and out of scenes a lot because of certain reasons. But you can tell there's a strength about his character, and that you don't want to cross him on a certain level. Not that saying that, there's violence all over, but there are violent moments. There are violent acts that are happening around the neighborhood that are, from a cinematography standpoint, like, this is probably one of the best of cinematography this year. Like, I mean, not only is it black and white, but like, it just looks rich. It looks beautiful. It looks like I'm in that era. The set design, it equates to that. The score is beautiful. Judi Dench and Ciaran Hinds as Pop and Granny. I love Judi Dench in this. I really did love, like, how she didn't, not that she didn't own the scenes that she was in, but she took us back seat to make sure that the family around felt her presence without her even saying a line or delivery. And maybe that's partly on Kenneth and his understanding of how to utilize these actors with the scenes that he needed. Because the other side of that is Ciaran Hinds' character, Pop. He's not in a lot, but just like Jamie Dornan, like, his presence is felt and the importance of it. And a big part of that pivotal piece to this is all on Jude Hill's Buddy's shoulders. Like, he's looking at this from the perspective of a kid. But we're also, unlike some other films, I don't want to name names, that just centralize on just the kid's perspective. No, they show you everybody's perspective. They show you the real raw situation that's happening outside of, Buddy's perspective on what is life and death situation and what he should or shouldn't do. But they also allow you as a kid, like he's got a love interest, like he wants to stay in Belfast, but he's also scared, and he also needs to know what his parents want him to do. He also wants to vocalize his opinion because he loves his family, like he loves his pop, and he loves his pop. And I think that his performance is great. I think his performance is great. Like, if it was an award for Best Young Actor, it would be between him and the young man that played the role in Come On, Come On. But I think that as a unit, as an ensemble, I think that they worked functionally very well. I think that they did a great job. Lewis McCasey as Will, who's the brother, they don't do enough with him to merit anything outside of him just being the brother on the side. But that was okay. But I think that one thing I would say, if this is a real life story, that I get it. But if it's not a real life story based on true events, then there's not necessarily a need for the character Will. Or they could have done something more visceral with this character. Because he gets cornered in a couple different situations as well, as much as Buddy does. But as a film, as a whole, there's not that many negatives in it. Like, it is just a well-rounded film. The biggest thing is that from a general audience standpoint, this is not something that everybody would want to see, but I think it is a very important film to see, whether it's just like the understanding of family and community, the understanding of evolution of where people came from, where they got to go, and the sacrifices people had to make to do that. I think that those merits are making this film very important to actually watch. But it's not necessarily even a happy story at times, but there are some beautiful happy moments. Like there's a breakout musical number, and a dance sequence is filmed excellently and sung even better than that. Like there are some amazing moments in this film. I would rest it at a 9 to 9.5 out of 10. Highly recommend you go and check out Belfast. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell button. We got a lot of reviews coming. I'm gonna keep popping them out as best I can. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Peace, guys.